So yes, it is a public safety training center. In the first wave, we will utilize the classroom space. There will be a mock station-built driving course that will be utilized, and a mock neighborhood that we will also utilize, and there will be a burn associated with it, because currently our burn tower at our training location on Clare Drive has been it's outdated and it's been deemed unsafe. So it would be a great asset once we have that one built and ready to go.
So you talk about a burn tower. What does it matter if you have a burn tower or not?
So the burn tower allows the firefighters to train on high-rise evolutions. Familiar with Atlanta, we have many high-rise buildings. So that ensures that our training for high-rise structural firefighting is up to date. So we'll have members ready in the event that those type of incidents occur. Any type of training, whether it's fire, EMS related, we can use that tower to train.
And I know I've heard you guys talking about it. I know you have a swiftwater rescue team.
Yes.
Today is a perfect example of you guys going out and some, different elements. How will this training facility, does this help also in days like today if we see those in the future?
Yes, definitely it does. It allows the members out there to train, prepare, and utilize working with other partners to familiarize themselves with swiftwater training. We utilize pools in the area. We utilize locations throughout the city to properly train for these events and when they occur.
And also recruiting. I know that's another big thing about this training center is being able to recruit the best in the country to come here, and then to also retain. I think everybody's talks about recruiting, but you also have to retain your firefighters to stay on and
Yes, having a state-of-the-art training speaks volumes. That increases morale, increases the recruitment section. When you see the best training facilities available, those that are inspired to be firefighters, those that are firefighters elsewhere, would want to come to Atlanta to be a part of what's the best in class. Having that best in class training center, the options to train, the different situations, scenarios, that just makes that firefighter a much better asset to the city and better for the citizens of Atlanta.
If you had to describe your training facility now, I've heard about it. It's not in the best shape, but is it one of those things where you need, and this is something you need? Like it's not really, we should have it. It's a need.
It is definitely a need. We do not currently have a per se training center at this time. We're currently leasing a building out off of Godby Road. The former training facility we had was condemned a few years ago, and actually it was I started 30 years plus ago. We were in a rented building then. It was the old Ashwood Elementary School, which was built in the 40s or 50s. It got condemned when we had firefighters getting sick a few years ago, so we had to move to other options. So we ended up leasing some space out in College Park. Yes, we were renting. We've been renting space for the last 30 plus years.
Two more questions. When you look around the other parts of the country, I think people are so focused on Atlanta, but there's other cities that have facilities like this. So it's not something that's just unique, that would be unique to Atlanta. This is something that's normal in other big cities.
Very true. I've visited various fire departments through Florida, throughout the country. They all have training facilities where they train in USAR, urban search and rescue, for any type of events that happen. Everyone has a burn tower. Everyone has burn facilities where they can burn and do proper training. And they also have a driving course where they can properly train drivers on our apparatus. We have some large equipment that ride through the city on an emergency basis, which is very dangerous. So having that driving course helps us learn, helps us teach, helps us to be a better driver, a better emergency driver for the city of Atlanta.
And isn't also too keeping your guys and your women safe? Because if they can't train, they can't say they're going to be safer into a call. So yes, it's for public safety, but also for keeping your guys and gals safe, training-wise.
Right. So training, yes, we definitely need to train. Having the best facilities helps us continue the education. You just can't become a fireman or a police officer, a firefighter or a police officer, and that's it. It's continuing learning, continued learning. 30 years I've been working, every day is a learning day. You cannot take anything for granted. and you can't get complacent, because complacency will get you hurt in this line of work. So definitely it's needed, yeah.
Chief? Then we'll switch over to you.
Sure.
Okay.
Switch up, Chief.
Oh, yes.
All right, so Chief, I think for you guys, the biggest thing is just the amount of heat you guys are taking from this facility. And, you know, for your men and women who have to, you know, watch these news conferences, listen to that backlash, how does that affect your agency? Because again, this is about public safety for you guys.
Right. The one thing I know about the men and women of the Atlanta Police Department, they're committed, they're dedicated. They go out and serve this city every single day, doing the difficult, the dangerous, using courage and compassion to serve this city. And so I have no doubt in their commitment. But what I am concerned about is when they watch press conferences and individuals that are saying that training isn't needed, that they don't need the skills and the tools to serve the citizens of this city, make sure they save lives and they go home safe every night. My concern is all around us, there's other communities saying, we are investing in our public safety infrastructure. We are providing training campuses to be able to train our first responders, Absalom Cobb, Gwinnett. You know, Henry County just announced a 40-acre, $77 million joint public safety training center. So my concern is that we start becoming uncompetitive to keep the best, the brightest, the committed. And that is my concern, because officers of this department, they want to know they're backed. And we have a phenomenal mayor that is backing the men and women of this police department. The city council has been backing the men and women of this police department. So I do get concerned that there may be a message taken away that is not accurate, and that individuals may look for other agencies to go to serve in.
And you know, you always hear these excuses. Sometimes it's the environment, sometimes it's the militarization that you guys are trying to do, is what people argue. But at the end of the day, what is this public safety training facility? I mean, you guys need it. I mean, at the end of the day, it's something that's just needed, right? I mean, it's not a luxury for you guys. It's not you're just building this for fun.
You know, this year, 1.1 million people are going to call 911. We're going to go to over 700,000 calls. Some of those will be babies not breathing. Some of those will be a kidnap victim. Some of those will be an active shooter situation. It isn't the uniform that I wear, that Chief McLemore is wearing, that when we arrive, we can magically save a life, mitigate that situation, keep the scene safe. It's training. Repetitive, realistic training. We are no different than any other profession that exists. I often compare it to being an airline pilot. You want your pilot at 30,000 feet when the engine has stopped running to be able to mitigate that situation. And you depend on that of your first responders to be able to know what the new laws are, what the new court rulings are, to be able to have the best practices. That just doesn't happen. That is through training, repetitive quality training. And we're in a day and time where fewer people are entering the profession. And we know that individuals looking to say, where am I going to serve? They're going to look to see, has this community invested in its first responders? And this has been a long-standing need that Chief McLemore just spoke about. We've been promised proper training facilities. I'm the spring chicken in the group. I've only been here 20 plus years, Chief. You said 30 plus years. But, you know, I've been promised since an officer, since I was a recruit, we would have proper training facilities. And we went through a 1950s schoolhouse that had been temporarily acquired to provide the classroom space. We still drive an hour south of the city to use another jurisdiction's, another law enforcement agency's driving course to meet our state requirements. We still go next door, we still go to our federal partners to be able to acquire mock training facilities to be able to train in. And that is unfair to the citizens of this city to be even suggested that they are okay to have second-rate first responders, and for the mayor and the city council to show the leadership to address what has been a deficiency for decades is refreshing. We hear about it in the ranks, and I'm excited for the citizens of this city that will have a fire and police department that is responding to them top, best that can be recruited and trained. And I'm excited for the men and women of the police department for what is coming for them to be able to serve this city better.
And you know, they want to get this on the ballot. They want to take it to the vote, to let people vote on it. You know, is this something you guys talk about? Do you talk to your men and women? I mean, do you guys have conversations? What's your kind of take on, you know, them wanting to take this to the ballot and get voted on by the public? Are you guys concerned about that?
I'm not concerned about going to the ballot. I believe that the vast majority of the citizens of this city see the importance of it and support it. What I am worried about is the city council placing it on the ballot prematurely when there was a process playing out to see, is this a proper initiative and a proper way to have this matter resolved? And I believe that if the city council should do this prematurely, there will be an impact on our morale. There will be an immediate impact on our ability to recruit and retain. And so our concern is to keep the men and women motivated, serving and protecting the city in the manner that they do.
If this public safety training center does not go through, what do you feel is going to happen to this agency? Just not you guys, but also to fire. Are there repercussions here if this doesn't happen?
The Public Safety Training Center is going to go through. But I will say this, the more that there is doubt sowed out there that this isn't going to happen, that it could maybe be delayed or not going to occur. Where it will materialize itself is the number of people that fill the ranks of the Atlanta Police Department. What does that mean to your viewers? How long does it take to get to you? When we show up, how trained are we to handle the situation? Can we continue over the years to staff the Peachtree Road Race, the Pride Parade, the Dragon Con Parade? We are a large metropolitan city that hosts events that you do not see anywhere else in the state of Georgia. We have to have a police department that matches that reputation of those iconic events. And so my concern is just the mere suggestion that this isn't needed, and the mere suggestion that it's going to be taken away from our officers, what's been a promise, it's going to impact morale, and it's going to impact how many people we have patrolling every neighborhood in Atlanta, Georgia.
And it's frustrating too, I've only been here a year, but I go on a lot of news conferences where it's like, we need more training. You need to train your officers better, you need to do this and that, but isn't that what this Public Safety Training Center is gonna be, training your officers to respond better? I mean, is it kind of, when you watch those, is it frustrating because one day they're saying train, the other day they're saying we don't want a Public Safety Training Center?
I'm staying focused on what's important, which is serving the citizens of Atlanta. They know training is necessary. They know what is important. And you're absolutely right. If we go in a chaotic situation where there's weapons involved, there is fear happening, citizens are actively being attacked, our officers just don't magically respond to that. They only mitigate it because of training. And as we strive to have the fewest use of force occurrences that are necessary to protect the citizens, to uphold the law, the only way we accomplish that is training. So there's a lot of misinformation that is out there. If we want a safe city, if we want one safe city for everyone, it will be through training. It will be through first-class facilities that's being set forth that will be a reality next year.
Last question, you mentioned recruiting, both of you did. I mean, this is a huge thing for recruits, you know, for you guys to get people in and keep them here, because you see signs everywhere that you're trying to recruit. I mean, it seems every agency's trying to compete with you guys, so is that a big point of this, is trying to get the best in here and keep them within APD? And
Absolutely. Absolutely. Every major police department in the country is hiring. Fewer people entering the profession. And so individuals that are willing to serve in the first responders, fire and police department, are going to make a judgment on what type of facilities are being made available for me, how does this community value me, and it will certainly have a direct correlation how many people serve in the city and how long we can keep them and how we can train them.